What's going on, people of the internet? Hyperchaotic here with the KRR, and welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time visiting my channel. And if you just want to jump straight into it, I'll leave some timestamps in the description if you already know what's up. But for those of you that are new to me, I've been doing a series of videos going over each individual phase within the MCU and talking about each individual property, what I like and what I disliked as an MCU casual, not a hardcore fan, but just a casual, and going straight off of the dome, as in literally whatever I can remember. If I get some details wrong, it is what it is, but that's just what I can remember. I even did one specifically just for the What If series, and if you would like to see that, it will be linked in the description down below or on screen, depending on the platform you're on. And depending on the platform you're on, you also get a link to the full Marvel playlist. Unless you're on BitChute, you're going to have to go link chain by link chain in the descriptions of each individual video. I apologize for that, but playlists are limited on BitChute. Anyways, this video will be my thoughts on the What If Marvel Zombies episode. As a zombie fanatic and an MCU casual, back when I first heard about this episode, I was initially hyped. Then, when I saw it, I was severely disappointed. Now that I went back to see it, just so I could make this video, I watched it again. And let's just say that on the second time around, I don't hate it as much. It went from, in my eyes, being ass, like just straight ass, one of, I wouldn't say the worst. There are way worse episodes in this episode, but one of the worst episodes of the entire What If series. The worst ones would be the ones I consider the most insufferable, like that one Thor episode where he just acts like a fucking college frat boy, but more like a high school teenager pretending to act like a college frat boy, if anything. And that Agatha Goes to Hollywood episode. Those two, in my opinion, are the worst episodes of the entire What If series. The worst by far, alright? Top 3, even though I don't have a third contender, they're definitely within the top fucking 3. But this one, initially, I would have been like top 5, top 6, at the bottom 5 or 6. Now, I think at most it's meh, but mostly forgettable, except for the few good moments, good things I do like about this episode. And yes, believe it or not, there are some things that I do like about this episode. For starters, the beginning and the end were pretty good. I will have to say this, I really find it so fucking stupid that Vision felt the need to kill himself in order to give them the Mind Stone to use it. You know, what are you going to use it for again without him? I guess they're supposed to use it to somehow cure the infection, but the second he takes it out of his fucking forehead and dies, what happens? The herd comes after him because he was the only fucking one holding him back. Like, bro, go with them. Hold off the horde. And if it comes to that point where they have to take it out of your head, then you can let it happen. But why would you kill yourself right then and fucking there where you're the only one holding them back? Like, oh, I feel guilty for what I have done feeding my zombie wife people that needed my help. This is the only way I can redeem myself. It's like, no, you could probably redeem yourself by helping them go save other survivors, especially since you can literally control the minds of the zombies and hold them the fuck back. Are you kidding me, my man? You can literally redeem yourself by helping save more people who might be on the verge of being eaten, being overrun. Go help a military base. Oh, they're about to freaking die. They're out of ammunition. They're about to break the door. Here comes Vision. I silence the zombies. I relax them. go in this specific direction, I'll clear a path for you. There you go, a slow redemption arc. Also, he could fucking do that. Why couldn't he do that in what was it? Endgame? Not Endgame. Infinity War? Which one of them? What? Why didn't he do that then? Why the fuck didn't he do that then? If he could literally do that the entire time, why didn't he do it before? Now, I never had a problem with this back with the original film, but it's like, now when I see shit like this, I'm just sitting here thinking, if he couldn't do that here, why the fuck couldn't he do that there? This may be a what-if case scenario, you know, but this is still a variation of that original vision from the MCU. So if this vision variant can do it, why couldn't the original? I mean, a motherfucker could have just popped that shit right out of his forehead, and then Wanda could have helped him by, I don't know, launching the stone into the sun. But in all fairness, that's just a minor nitpick, and that wouldn't really make much of a difference for Endgame or Infinity War. I can't remember which one. I'm pretty sure it's Infinity War. Because again, Thanos did have the freaking time stone, so that wouldn't really make a difference. I just find it odd that the motherfucker can easily pull the shit out of his own forehead in this episode, but couldn't do it in the movie. You know, it doesn't bother me. I just think it's funny. A minor nitpick of something that's a little ridiculous, but other than that, it doesn't really ruin the film. Because, once again, the time stone would have defeated the purpose either way. The fight with Zombie Falcon was pretty cool. Let's see. The introduction of Zombie Captain America in that one train scene, pretty cool. Though another reminder of how stupid these guys were as survivors, because even when they learned the hard way not to fucking separate, they were still fucking separated. What happens? Sharon gets fucking infected. What a shocker. Y'all didn't listen to the one guy who knows about this shit, which was Spiderman, and y'all fucking died. Also, I gotta be honest, Peter didn't do the best job really trying to make sure, you know, that nobody freaking died. Just, oh, we're just gonna go on our own ways anyway. So just fucking web up the fucking hallway any other direction and be like, no, you're not going anywhere. My webs are super fucking strong. I just wasted most of it blocking off the hallways. Now you're gonna stay right the fuck here. We're gonna stay in a group and we're gonna set up the train to go. For a zombie fanatic that sure as hell For a zombie fanatic that sure as hell knows a lot, thanks to the films, he sure as hell has no problem letting everybody make every freaking stupid decision in the book. Even states that, you know, oh, you shouldn't go around without layers, without long sleeves, and still let Happy go out in that short sleeve t-shirt. Now, once again, this is mostly a minor nitpick because would that really have made a difference? No. A long sleeve t-shirt wouldn't have saved him from the freaking arrow that went right through his freaking shoulder. Even if he had like a bulletproof vest, that wouldn't save him because you would need a ballistic vest for that. Nonetheless, zombie bites are still an issue, and Peter still allowed him to go out in a simple little t-shirt when he himself knew better. It made that very clear to Happy in his little demonstration that he was a part of. I also don't understand what Peter's really scared of when it comes to the zombies, unless it's like one of the zombie Avengers, especially the ones that can fly, because he's a wall crawler. He literally just gotta leap to the fucking ceiling, and as long as it's not low enough, they can't touch him. They cannot fucking touch him. If he wanted to go loot a building for supplies, he just gotta dangle by a window, act like bait a little bit, and just let them fucking fall. Just let them fall. If they don't fall, then just with the webs and just pull their asses the fuck out. Dude, Spider-Man would have it on easy street surviving the apocalypse. Straight up. The only part that would be difficult would be trying to get everybody else to survive due to their own bad decisions, which is exactly what pretty much happens in this episode. Which I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up being the reason why Spider-Man will die in the upcoming show. What was that? Oh yeah, if you didn't know, apparently there's a rumor that they're going to have Spider-Man actually die and become a zombie within the show. Which I guess would kind of make sense because it's going to follow some of the plot lines from the comic books, and that does happen to Spider-Man. But I feel like that's the only way you can get away with Spider-Man truly getting infected or dying, is if he sacrifices himself trying to save somebody, especially due to their own sheer stupidity and panic decisions. Because Spider-Man is just too fucking OP to die in a zombie apocalypse due to his own bad decisions. You know, now that I think about this, I feel like a zombie survival Spider-Man game would be fucking sick. Sony, if you somehow ever see this video, look into that. A zombie survival Spider-Man game would be fucking raw. Swinging around New York City trying to help civilians survive the apocalypse, or, you know, get them out of a bad, sticky situation. Maybe some of them are being overrun. And you can have special zombie bosses that are zombified Spider-Man villains and other heroes within New York. And since it's zombie survival, sometimes you would have to go into buildings and loot shit. And you gotta use your spider senses to be stealthy and make sure you don't get caught up and fucked up. Now, of course, like I've stated earlier, you on the walls, you on the ceilings, you can't be touched. But of course, you gotta plan your route, plan your attack properly, because you gotta be on the ground to be able to dig through the cabinets and everything to look for the supplies that's not on the fucking ceiling. Basically, be careful when you come down and make sure you have a plan of attack so you can actually loot without issue. Anyways, tell me what you think in the comment section down below. How awesome would a Spider-Man zombie survival game be? Honestly, now that I really think about it, I'm surprised somebody hasn't done this in mod form for like some existing zombie game or even GTA. Now, I do understand there are Spider-Man mods for GTA. There is zombie mods for several GTA games. But I've never heard of a zombie Spider-Man mod. You could probably use two at once if you wanted to. Nonetheless, I'm surprised nobody has ever done that before. Anyways, let me go a bit more into the stuff I didn't like. For starters, the MCU humor strikes again. I'm at the point where I'm kind of getting really fucking sick of it. At first, it was kind of funny. It was kind of charming. The second time around, I got a little, tired out. At this point, it's just really fucking annoying. And I'm not gonna lie, it was one of the things that kind of ruined the episode a little bit for me. Just a little bit. It wasn't one of the main factors, but as the episode was moving forward, it just kept weighing down on the episode when I felt like there should have been more serious, somber moments. Though I'm not going to fault them for that last joke near the end. Now, I've already seen it before, so it's not going to make me crack up anymore like the first time I saw it, but it still does put a cheeky-ass smile on my face. I gotta admit, that was a creative-ass joke. I wish every other joke was that fucking creative in this episode. Again, I don't think that they should have had too much comedy in this episode, a lot more somber moments. But at the very least, if they had more creative jokes like that, I probably would have been cracking the fuck up all the way through. It would have been my top #1 best episodes. And what's funny is I kind of saw that coming, but I was expecting Zombie Hope to throw something like, I don't know, a boulder or a car or any other big-sized object within the base at them. Like, I don't know, maybe like she just grabs a fucking generator and tosses that shit at the Quinjet. Nope, she just picked up a random zombie and tossed that motherfucker. That shit was hilarious. So even though I kind of expected her to throw something, I wasn't expecting it to be a joke. I was actually expecting her to throw something to cause it to crash, and then they would have been back at square one and surrounded and had to freaking fight them all off with Hulk. somehow they both met and subverted an expectation at the same time by putting a twist on it. I don't know if they were actually expecting people to expect that, but that's an expectation I did have, was her to throw something at the fucking Quinjet, but because of the twist on that, being the zombie, it being a joke instead of causing something, something she throws that causes it to crash, it subverted my expectation while meeting it at the same time, if that makes any sense. Anyways, aside from the humor and the lack of more serious, somber moments, I really feel like this episode was a bit... I don't know if this is the appropriate word to describe it, but the vibe of it felt a bit immature and juvenile. Again, I don't know if those are the proper terms I should be describing it as. But the whole time I'm watching this, I felt like this was something for a little kid. Not something that adults can enjoy, but like for little kids. And that's what I mean by it felt immature and juvenile, and not even in a fun way. Just like something that I know is not for my age range, more like for a younger demographic. And that's not to say that even if you were, older, around my age or much older, and if you enjoyed this, there's anything wrong with that. I just personally didn't enjoy for that reason. It made me feel like this was for a little ass kid. Because they had some moments where, I guess, as a zombie fanatic, you shouldn't think about it too much, but as a zombie fanatic, an older one that's not a little kid, I can't help but look at some things and just think like, you're stupid. You're fucking stupid. Why the fuck did you do that? Think about when you're sitting there watching a horror film and you watch some of the characters make some dumb decisions, and I'm just sitting there like, why the fuck would you even do that? I mean, with how much this felt like it was trying to go for a younger demographic, I was half expecting the zombies to start crying out brains, or for their blood to be fucking green, which is a weird thing that for some reason zombie media tends to do when they have to dumb it down for a younger audience sometimes, or when it has to deal with some censorship, where they change the color of the blood and it'll be like, I don't know, green or purple or blue. It doesn't really... Like, you're trying to downplay the gore, but it doesn't really downplay the gore. It just looks ridiculous that the blood went from red to green, unless they have an explanation for why the infection does that. I think it helps better with the immersion in that circumstance. But when people do that just to downgrade it for like a younger audience, it feels cheap. I don't know if that necessarily applies here, because I try to pay attention to like that one Sharon scene where Hope just pops right fucking out of her. She did what everybody wanted Ant-Man to do to Thanos. I noticed that the blood and other fluids of Sharon were like a darkish blue, like a blackish blue. Perhaps that's because they're rotten, but then when I saw the Marvel Zombies show trailer, the gore actually had red blood. So that tells me that y'all did try to dumb this down for a younger audience, and it just feels so cheap when zombie mediums do that shit. No, just go full blown with the red gore, or if you're gonna change the color of the fucking blood of the gore, then have an immersive reason, have some fun with it, instead of just being cheap with it. Like, oh, little kids are gonna be checking this out, so we gotta dumb it down a bit. We wouldn't want to scare them with all the red. Like, dude, it doesn't matter if it's blue, red, or green. Gore is gore. Go look at any scene from any Alien franchise or Alien vs. Predator where an alien gets fucked up or dismembered, and tell me if those gory scenes feel any less gory just because their blood is green. No, that shit still feels pretty fucking gory and gruesome, and that's what makes those scenes great. Oh, and of course, once again, just to make sure this was very clear, I hate that we get a zombie fanatic like, well, Spiderman. Not only does nobody listen to him, but he doesn't get on anybody's ass about that. Nor does he actually try to help Happy wear some long sleeves. Yes, again, it was a minor nitpick, and it wouldn't have saved him from that arrow. But even then, it's like, you're making it very clear, better safe than sorry. Why are you not helping them be safe? And that's why near the end, your ass is fucking sorry. Come on, Spider-Man, you know better. I'm disappointed in you. Mostly as a zombie fanatic more than anything. Now, with that said, I want to come to the final thing that I just hated from this episode. And right off the bat, ladies and gentlemen, let it be known that the rest of this video is just going to be ranting about this scene. So, fair warning, an entire fucking rant ahead that this alone might just extend this video to a 30-minute, 40-minute mark. But nonetheless, I have to get this the fuck out. I've been waiting to rant about this scene until this video. That dumb fucking bridge scene. I'm sorry, but the way the Avengers went out is just so utterly brain dead. So brain dead. I feel like a zombie writing that scene. A literal fucking zombie would have had more intelligence and came up with a better fucking scene. Until this day, this very moment, even after rewatching it multiple times, I still don't understand why the fuck they were on the bridge. What, were they expecting the Avengers to take out all of New York City's zombies? Now, I know for a fact that they weren't trying to protect an evacuation of the city on the bridge, because I looked really hard in that bridge scene. There was no implications of an evacuation. You don't even get that from Watu. It's Watu, right? The Watcher. He doesn't even imply that. He doesn't hint that. He doesn't straight up say it out loud. There's no implications of an evacuation on the bridge whatsoever. And it's already surrounded by zombies. You literally see hordes. Just hordes across the bridge from front to back. And why were they on the ground to fight? Even if, let's say, the evacuation was all the way at the end of the bridge, where you couldn't see beyond the fog, beyond the horizon. Okay, let's say there's still people on the bridge near the very end. They're trying to get them off before they blow up the bridge. But why did they get on the fucking... The only one who I could see probably needing to be on the bridge is Captain America. And he shouldn't be in the middle of the horde. He should be over there with the soldiers protecting the main civilians getting off of the bridge during the evacuation. If there was even an evacuation at all. Hawkeye? His ass should have been on a pillar just sniping with his freaking bow and arrow. Black Widow? I would say the same thing. Put her on a pillar with a fucking sniper. Preferably the both of them near the evacuation site where they're trying to get off the fucking bridge, making sure they don't attack the soldiers and the civilians. Or at the very least, one of them should have just stood on the Quinjet and just started firing off missiles and fucking machine guns. Missiles preferably near the end of the bridge where the civilians are not located, or more so near the middle of it. And if there's no weapons on the Quinjet, that's no problem, because they have Iron Man, who is literally their fucking air support and one of the smartest men alive in the MCU, ladies and gentlemen, went to fight zombies on the fucking ground like a dumb fuck. What the fuck did... I'm not going to say that Iron Man doesn't ever fight on the ground, because that would just be fucking stupid and imply that I just never paid attention to anything Iron Man's been in within the MCU. Because he has fought on the ground before. He has done some hand-to-hand combat in the suit. But with a whole herd of zombies, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. What are you going to accomplish doing that? I could understand if maybe he wanted to blast the entire herd with his uni-beam at the middle. It's just like, fucking lands, just fucking lasers an entire horde. Then just as they're about to enclose on him, fly back the fuck up and let it recharge. And while you're at it, just start shooting missiles and repulsors and dropping bombs. Why the fuck is the motherfucker on the ground? He didn't need to be on the ground. When he's saving civilians, it makes sense. It makes sense. He'll have to go on the ground to their level to make sure He gets the right hit, like from that one scene in Iron Man 1. When he did get close enough, that way he didn't accidentally blow up the civilians. Those circumstances, of course, it makes sense he's going to get into close quarters on the ground. Or when he was trying to capture Bucky and Cap, and then they got into some hand-to-hand combat. He was too close to get away, to start using his repulsors, using his other weapons, and he didn't want to kill them. In this circumstance, it's shoot to fucking kill. It is shoot to fucking kill, my guy. Why the fuck is you on the motherfucking ground? You're the air support. And I still don't understand how the fuck Iron Man got infected. I didn't have a problem with them revealing Iron Man was a zombie in the beginning. I thought it was a cool shot. Revealing that he was a zombie until after I saw that bridge scene. I'm just like, how, bro? How? I say how. I know how. Zombie Hank Pym probably got in there because he had the suit. Now, in the previous video, I thought he had the Wasp suit. He doesn't. Hope has the Wasp suit. And his wife, his zombie wife, did apparently have the Wasp suit. Thankfully, she didn't follow him into that subatomic vehicle when he came back as a zombie. Nonetheless, he can still shrink and grow within his suit without the vehicle. He just can't go into the quantum realm with it. At least I don't think so. So because of that, Zombie Hank Pym could still attack Iron Man and still get within his suit. But that would have never fucking happened if his dumbass stood in the fucking air where he fucking belonged. He had no business being on the fucking ground in the first place. That was just a dumb fucking tactical decision. You can see the bridge is surrounded. Why the fuck did you go into the middle of the herd? I also hope that in the new Marvel Zombies show they reveal how Doctor Strange and Wong got infected. Because right next to Spiderman, when it comes to OP characters that just should have it on easy streaks surviving in the zombie apocalypse, Doctor Strange literally has magic, the teleporter rings, and his fucking cape which helps him fly. Also, he can just go into like the mirror dimension. I could see him maybe get attacked by another wizard who ended up there when they got infected maybe, but then it's another question of how the fuck did they get infected? They know all the same shit Doctor Strange knows. Well, just about most of it, at least. And again, the sling ring. The sling ring alone. The sling ring alone should be more than enough to help you survive a fucking zombie apocalypse. Dude. A sling ring would be fucking OP to have in the zombie apocalypse. You would never have to worry about being stuck in a corner. Ever. You can literally go into the perfect fucking spot away from the zombies, have a way to get into buildings without having to go through the streets to look for supplies. And when your shelter gets overrun, immediate evac. Immediate freaking evac. Just ring, other side, close it. You're safe again. Now, hypothetically speaking, let's say it wasn't an evacuation and they just needed to prevent the zombies from getting to the other side and the infection spreading outside of New York City. Okay, you know what would make more sense than putting the Avengers directly in the middle of the fucking bridge surrounded by the horde of zombies? Just send the fucking military to bomb the fucking bridge. And even if the military and National Guard are too busy with other parts of the outbreak and evacuations, okay, fine. You send off the Avengers to blow up the fucking bridge. You send them on the fucking pillars, not in the middle of the fucking bridge. And you wouldn't even need to send them all to set charges. All you need is Iron Man. He could just blow up the fucking pillars and there you go. There you go. The bridge is down. The zombies can't get to the other side. Boom. Done. Oh, he's too busy with something else? Okay, then send Hawkeye with a shit ton of explosive arrows. He doesn't even have to get close. Look, I am by no means a tactician by any fucking means. I have never been in the military. I have never been in the fucking police force, SWAT, Counter-Strike units, Homeland Security, any of this shit. I've never even taken self-defense. I've shot a gun once in my entire fucking life. But if I can think of this shit right off of the top of my fucking head as a random fucking civvy that does videos on the side as a hobby, why the fuck couldn't the Avengers of the military come up with this? Why the fuck couldn't the writers of $1 billion corporation think about this? I feel like there's a way this scene could have been written better by just simply giving them an evacuation to defend, and maybe they all slowly go down one by one, each trying to make a sacrifice to save all the civilians. I think that could have worked, and it would have made the bridge scene a whole lot less fucking stupid, especially without putting Iron Man on the fucking ground. What the fuck were they even thinking? No, I'm not gonna let that go. He's literally the fucking Avengers air support. He does not need to be on the fucking ground for this operation. There was no evacuation. Just blow up the fucking bridge or put people on the pillars. Captain America doesn't even need to fucking be there. But if you want to put him there, again, pillar, sniper, that's where he needs to be. Or with a machine gun. Also, mind you, I'm not a demolition expert either. And my first thought is to blow up the fucking bridge. You don't want him to get out of the city and infect the rest of the country? Blow up the fucking bridge. Most of New York is a fucking island. New York City, I mean, is a fucking island. Blow up the fucking bridge. Just blow up the fucking bridge. Why are they on the bridge? Just blow up the fucking bridge. I may not be a tactician or a professional by any means when it comes to this shit. But even I thought of that shit. What they're doing is just tactically fucking stupid. Not even in a video game, man. Like, I could think of times when I was playing Dying Light when I was young, and I had to go to that big-ass fucking bridge. Do you know where the safest fucking place to be was in that bridge? The fucking pillars. Oh, and mind you, in that game, the infection didn't spread to the rest of the city because all they did was, get this, blow up the fucking bridge. All they had to do was blow up the bridge. Man, that game showed me that as long as you learn from your mistakes and upgrade over time, you gotta be really fucking stupid and lack creativity to die so much in that game. You will still deal with some challenges where you'll die fighting like hordes of zombies or stronger guys, but man, if you just lack creativity, you're gonna suck at that game. You're gonna constantly die to zombies. And it feels like many of the characters in this episode died just because they couldn't think outside the fucking box. They couldn't even think within the box. They didn't think at all. And I'm not gonna lie, I think this is the primary moment that ruined the rest of the episode for me. Even though it shouldn't have. I shouldn't have let it ruin the rest of the episode for me. And when I went back, I saw that it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I still don't kind of like it that much. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Because this is the scene that just kept lingering around in my head rent-free the entire fucking episode. I just couldn't get over it. Even now I can't get over how fucking dumb it is. Anyways, I guess to kind of conclude my thoughts overall, there are some good moments to this episode and some bad moments, but overall it's definitely not one of my favorite episodes. Not the worst in my opinion now, but not the best. Now, if you like it, that's great. But for my personal reasons as a zombie fanatic and somebody who understands some basic fucking tactical decisions, even if it's only from a video game, I just don't like it that much for some of its dumber moments and, again, the MCU humor, which I really hope they die down on that when it comes to the Zombies show. Keep that with Spiderman. And I hope he does, do a little bit more of like helping people survive with his zombie knowledge. And most importantly, I really hope they live up to that TVMA rating. God damn it, why can't I speak all of a sudden? I hope they live up to that TVMA rating because this episode felt like a freaking TV 12. TV 11. That's the age rating it felt like. That's the vibes I got from it. So I really do hope they live up to that TVMA rating. I hope there's extra gore. I hope the blood is red like it showed in the trailers. Unless they're supposed to be like extra rotted. I guess that makes sense. That their blood would be a bit more like coagulated and black and stuff like that. Am I using that word right? Coagulation? Coagulated? Am I using that word correctly? Anyways, let me know your thoughts and opinions, what you thought about this episode in the comment section down below. At first I thought it was one of the worst, but now I think it's alright. It's there. It's not one of the worst episodes in my opinion anymore. Not one of the best, but not one of the worst. Very mid. Maybe a little bit lower than mid, but mid. I'm just going to look at it as a somewhat meh pilot episode for the show, and I just hope the show ends up being better than whatever my expectations were for this episode. Even if it doesn't meet any expectations, I hope in some way, form, or fashion I still find it good or enjoy it at all. I don't want to hate on this series. I really don't. Because I wanted to enjoy the What If Zombies episode. I want to enjoy this series. I'm hoping for the best, but I'm mentally preparing for the worst after the experience with this episode. Now, by the time this video is published, it'll most likely be the day that show comes out. So whether it be just the first episode, the first few, or you watch this video by the time the season is over, feel free to let me know what your thoughts are on the show and not just this episode. I have no problem with it. Don't worry about spoiling it for me. By the time you guys see this video, I might check it out myself. Granted, I got some other shows ahead of it. Around that time, we're going to get a new episode of Peacemaker, new episode of Gen V. I think maybe a new episode with, what is it? The Alien Earth series. And then I'm going to catch up on the 3 episodes I've been waiting to come out for Dr. Stone. So I'm probably going to see all of that stuff before I see Marvel Zombies. But by the time you tell me the details, I'll probably see it by then. So feel free to let me know in the comment section down below how you feel about this series if it's out by now. I don't have a problem with spoilers. Spoiler warnings still, but I don't have a problem with them. Till then, I'll see you guys next time. I will probably do a video on the Marvel Zombie show, but I'm going to wait till the season's over and check out the whole entire season before I come back and do a video on that. Nonetheless, if you've enjoyed this video, leave a like. If not, leave a dislike and a comment telling me why. Because any and all interaction is good interaction for my channel and the algorithm. And any and all criticism can help me get better. And of course, if you did enjoy, subscribe to add a little dose of chaos in your life. If not, please do leave your dislikes because they do matter. And I appreciate your time even if you didn't enjoy it. I really do. Now, one last thing before I go. When it comes to any future Marvel related videos on the channel, I've mentioned I do want to do a video on WandaVision and Multiverse of Madness back to back, like side by side in the same video. And maybe a separate one for Wakanda Forever. But I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of getting a little tapped out on talking about Marvel stuff, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm probably going to put a pin on those ideas until I eventually one day want to get back to them, whenever that day comes. So for now, I think there's only 2 things you will look for, and even then, there's only a guarantee I'm going to do one of them eventually. The other one, which again is a video on the Marvel Zombie series, I probably won't do one, but if I do, I'm going to wait till the first season is over first, and then I'm going to give my thoughts on it. Other than that, the only other Marvel related video I'll probably do in the near future, MCU related, will probably be my Phase 5 retrospective whenever I get around to it, because Phase 5 is officially over and we're already starting on Phase 6. So I definitely got to get around to that soon, but it's going to be a minute because I do want to see if there's anything I missed that I should go back and check out first, if I even want to check it out. And even then, if I do that Marvel Zombies series video after the first season, I'm most likely going to do that before I eventually get to my Phase 5 retrospective. Nonetheless, I am for sure going to eventually get around to that. I think I'll stop making them after Phase 6, but we'll see what happens from there. But again, until then, that's all I'm going to have for you in the near future as far as Marvel-related videos. Those other two ideas, Wakanda Forever, Multiverse of Madness, and WandaVision, we're going to just put a pin on them. I might get to them eventually. Most likely look forward to my video on the Marvel Zombies first season, if I feel like it, and my Phase 5 retrospective, maybe sometime in December. No promises. Other than that, the most likely next upcoming videos will be 2 or 3 commentary or video essay-ish ideas I want to take care of. I don't know if they would technically count as commentaries or video essays. I mean, one of them is, for sure. The other ones, they're near that blurry line between video essay and commentary, and I'm most likely going to have to make a script for them anyways. And I am trying to make a cohesive point, so I don't know. I would say I would consider one a commentary. The other 2 might lean more into video essays. But that's what's most likely going to be up and coming after this very video. Till then, see you guys next time. HK out. Once again, I appreciate you guys making it all the way to the end, even if you didn't enjoy it. I appreciate you hearing me out for what I have to offer, even if you didn't enjoy it. That is not my primary content when it comes to the Marvel stuff. I mainly do gaming related videos and commentaries every now and then, but I do like to do these once in a blue moon. HK out and have a good one.